If you're married, preparing for marriage, guiding couples, or trying to understand why two people can love each other deeply and still fail to feel emotionally met, this is where I want you to pay close attention. I have found that many couples do not struggle only because of communication problems, unmet expectations, or stress. Very often, they are carrying two different emotional bodies into the same relationship. And unless you understand that difference, you keep trying to solve a deeper pattern at the surface level. When I look at Tithi pairings for intimacy and compatibility, I'm not merely looking at personality. I'm looking at the emotional undercurrent behind the personality. I'm looking at how you receive affection, how you pursue closeness, how you react under emotional pressure, how you bond, how you desire, how you withdraw, and how you sustain love over time. This is what makes Tithi analysis so valuable for spouses, marriage counselors, and relationship coaches. It reveals not just whether two people are attracted, but the style in which they seek emotional safety, emotional stimulation, loyalty, romance, truth, and fulfillment. And here is the part most people miss. Compatibility is not sameness. Compatibility is not whether both of you like the same food, the same music, or the same travel style. Compatibility is whether your emotional patterns create nourishment, friction, depletion, or repair when intimacy becomes real. It is whether one person's natural rhythm helps regulate the other person or whether both intensify each other's wounds. The strongest Tithi pairings tend to do one of two things beautifully. They either combine romance with communication or they combine passion with growth. In simple words, the best pairings usually bring either softness plus play or desire plus stability. That is what makes a relationship not only exciting at the beginning, but sustainable after the first wave of attraction has passed. Take the highest pairing pattern, the combination of emotionally affectionate Tithis with mentally responsive Tithis. This is the pattern where one partner brings warmth, desire, beauty, tenderness, and emotional appetite, while the other brings communication, adaptability, friendship, responsiveness, and emotional intelligence in interaction. This is one of the most powerful relational formulas because one keeps the bond warm and the other keeps the bond workable. One brings sweetness, the other brings movement, one creates attraction, the other prevents emotional stagnation. That is why pairings like Pratipada with Saptami, Pratipada with Dvitiya, Saptami with Ekadashi, Dvitiya with Ekadashi, and Shashti with Saptami stand out. These are not random pairings. They work because the emotional body of one partner is complemented by the relational style of the other. You are not just looking at love. You are looking at how love gets expressed, received, and stabilized. Pratipada types often bring desire, immediacy, emotional excitement, sensual appetite, and a need to feel alive through movement and expansion. They want life to start. They want emotion to move. They want love to feel vivid, but on their own, they can become impatient, distracted, overstimulated, or dissatisfied when life becomes flat. Now bring in Saptami. Saptami brings devotion, groundedness, stability, practical intelligence, truthfulness, and a strong need for reliability. Suddenly, the relationship has both heat and structure. One partner keeps the fire alive, the other builds the hearth around it. This is why a pairing like Pratipada and Saptami can feel deeply complete. One says, "Let us begin." The other says, "Let us sustain." One craves emotional motion. The other brings emotional backbone. One may be more expressive and impulsive. The other may be more steady and duty-driven. When healthy, this does not weaken attraction. It improves it because real intimacy needs both activation and regulation. Then you have pairings like Tritiya with Dashami, Tritiya with Purnima, Dashami with Trayodashi, and Panchami with Trayodashi. These are powerful because they combine passion, initiative, and bonding depth with nourishment, growth, emotional safety, and a larger sense of meaning. In these pairings, one person often carries the force to move, pursue, and ignite, while the other carries the generosity, emotional space, or wisdom to hold the relationship without collapsing into chaos. Panchami and Trayodashi is an excellent example. Panchami often brings positivity, romance, creativity, humor, a learning orientation, and a gentle emotional generosity. This type can make a relationship feel emotionally pleasant. Trayodashi brings stimulation, freedom, beauty, optimism, desire, and a mind that needs aliveness. This type can make a relationship feel mentally and sensorially rich. Put them together and you often get warmth without boredom. One nourishes the heart, the other keeps the relationship inspired. One makes love easier, the other makes it fuller. Now, let me say something that spouses and counselors need to hear very clearly. A high compatibility pairing is not a guarantee of maturity. It is simply a better energetic design. Two highly compatible people can still damage a relationship through ego, laziness, selfishness, poor timing, or unhealed trauma. And two more difficult Tithi pairings can still build a meaningful bond if there is deep awareness, discipline, respect, and growth. So this is not fatalistic. It is diagnostic. It helps you understand what kind of emotional weather the relationship naturally generates. The least supportive Tithi pairings tend to involve emotional emptiness, harshness, conflict patterns, or emotional dryness overpowering tenderness. In practical relationship life, these combinations can show up as withholding, emotional distance, power struggles, unresolved resentment, mistrust, or a feeling that closeness comes with friction rather than relief. The attraction may still exist. The intensity may even be very high, but the bond often lacks softness, ease, or repair. This is especially true where the pairing is dominated by tithis that carry fiercer, emptier, harsher, or conflict-driven emotional signatures. In such relationships, the couple may feel magnetized to one another, yet struggle to feel soothed by one another. That distinction is important. Not every strong bond is nourishing. Not every intense bond is compatible. For marriage counselors and relationship coaches, this is where Tithi analysis becomes practical. You begin to see that one spouse may not be difficult because they do not care. They may be difficult because their emotional body seeks safety through structure, control, privacy, or self-protection. Another spouse may not be immature because they need more romance, verbal affirmation, or stimulation. They may simply have an emotional body that withers under dryness. Once you see that, you stop giving generic advice. You stop telling every couple to communicate the same way. You stop assuming every spouse feels love through the same behaviors. You stop interpreting all conflict as lack of love. Does this partner need more emotional predictability or more emotional excitement? Does this person bond through talk, through loyalty, through sensuality, through devotion, through shared mission, or through emotional intensity? Does this spouse shut down because they are cold or because they are flooded? Does this couple need more softness, more structure, more play, or more truth? That is the power of Tithi pairing work. It helps you see what kind of medicine the relationship actually needs. For spouses, this can be transformative. You may finally understand why you keep asking for closeness in a way your partner does not naturally recognize. You may understand why one of you wants reassurance and the other wants space, why one wants verbal warmth and the other shows love through consistency, why one wants passion and emotional vividness, while the other values calm, safety, and steadiness. The relationship may not be broken. You may simply be speaking from different lunar instincts. And if you are serious about building a better marriage, this is not information to collect casually. This is information to apply. If your pairing is naturally strong, then your work is to protect the gift. Do not let ego destroy what compatibility has made easier. If your pairing is more difficult, then your work is to become more conscious than your default emotional wiring. You cannot afford lazy love. You need skill, insight, and discipline. I have seen that the couples who grow the most are not always the easiest pairings. They are the couples willing to understand the emotional law of their bond. They stop demanding that love look only one way. They learn the rhythm of the other person. They stop personalizing everything. They stop reacting to the symptom and start working with the pattern. So if you are a spouse, do not ask only, do we love each other? Ask, how do our emotional bodies meet? If you are a counselor or coach, do not ask only what happened in the fight. Ask, What underlying emotional rhythm made this fight almost inevitable? That is where the deeper answer lives. And if you want to go beyond generic compatibility and actually understand your intimacy pattern, your marriage dynamics, your attraction style, your emotional blind spots, and the exact strengths and vulnerabilities in your Tithi pairing, book an intimacy reading or a compatibility reading with me at astrovagmi.com. If this spoke to you, subscribe, share this with a spouse, counselor, or coach who needs it, and stay with me. Because when you understand the emotional code beneath love, you stop guessing, you start seeing. And when you start seeing clearly, you finally know what this relationship truly needs. Get your reading now.